The drifter and the stowaway Kai Cooper, never meant to be a hero. His reputation was quite the opposite. A disgrace to the Terran fleet after a navigation error cost them a crucial battle. Now he drifted through the outer systems in a salvaged cargo hauler named Nomad, taking whatever jobs kept his ship flying, and his past buried the shipment from Helios Station wasn't anything special. Medical supplies for the mining outpost on Series 9, easy money. No questions, but 3 days into the journey, something changed. A sound, a whisper of movement from the cargo hold that shouldn't have been there. Arya. Run a life sign scan. Kai said to the ship's AI scanning complete. One unidentified organic signature detected in lower cargo bay. Arya replied in her calm voice. Kai grabbed his pulse pistol. A stowaway meant trouble smugglers. Pirates, or worse. He descended the narrow ladder to the dimly lit cargo hold. Weapon raise, I know you're in here, come out now. And maybe I won't space you. The silence stretched until a small voice came from behind a stack of supply crates. Please don't hurt me, I had nowhere else to go. A girl emerged from the shadows. Kai almost dropped his weapon. She wasn't human. Her skin was a soft purple that seemed to shimmer in the low light. Dark hair fell around a face with wide, frightened eyes that held flecks of silver. She couldn't have been more than 14. What are you doing on my ship? Kai demanded, lowering his weapon slightly. They were chasing me. I needed to get away. I'm sorry, I can work, I can help. Just please don't send me back. Kai studied her. Stowaways were bad news, especially alien ones, but something in those silver-flecked eyes reminded him of himself years ago. Desperate hunted. What's your name? Aya, she whispered. Who's chasing you, Aya? Before she could answer, Arya's voice cut through the hold. Captain. Incoming transmission from a vessel identifying as Imperial Enforcement. They're demanding to board for inspection. Kai cursed. Imperial Enforcement didn't patrol this sector unless they were hunting something valuable, or someone. The girl trembled. Please, they'll take me back. I can't go back there. Kai made a decision that would change everything. Arya, prepare to receive transmission by me. 2 minutes and kid? Get in that maintenance compartment and don't make a sound. The enforcement officers were efficient cold. Their captain examined Kai's shipping manifest with suspicious eyes. Routine cargo run to Series 9. Kai explained with practiced casualness, nothing interesting here. Commander Rena, we're tracking a fugitive, a juvenile female, not human. Rena's eyes narrowed. Mind if my officers search your hold? Be my guest, but I'm on a schedule. The miners on Series 9 need these supplies. The search was thorough. Kai's heart pounded as they passed the hidden compartment where Aya hid finally. Satisfied, they departed with curt nods when they were safely away. Kai opened the compartment. Aya uncurled herself, eyes wide with fear and gratitude. Thank you. She whispered, Don't thank me yet. You're getting off at the next outpost. But as days passed, Kai found himself sharing meals with the strange girl, teaching her about the ship. Listening to fragments of her story, she spoke of a home among crystal spires, of being born to serve in the grand temple, of escaping when she discovered what that service truly meant. He never meant to care, never meant to protect her when bounty hunters boarded at Ganymede Station. Never meant to show her how to navigate by starlight or tell her stories of Earth's ancient oceans, yet somehow, in the cold emptiness of space, something warm grew between them. Not quite friendship, not quite family. Something neither had words for. Will you always keep me safe? She asked one night, as they gazed at the nebula stretching beyond the view screen. Kai hesitated, then nodded. As long as you're with me, you're under my protection, that's a promise. He couldn't know then how that promise would echo across years and worlds beyond imagining. Whispers of destiny. 7 years passed like cosmic dust through an hourglass. Kai still remembered the morning he discovered Aya gone. No warning, no goodbye, just an empty bunk and a small crystal figurine of a bird left on his navigation console. Arya, any unauthorized departures during night cycle? He had asked, his voice strangely hollow negative. Captain, no life pods deployed, no airlocks breached. It was as if she had simply vanished into the void he searched for weeks. Calling in old favors, risking Imperial territories, nothing now. Nomad drifted through the shadow of an asteroid belt in the Vega sector. Kai was older, his face weathered by years of hard living. The streak of gray at his temple matched the faded hope in his eyes. Captain, Incoming transmission origin unknown, Arya announced. Put it through, Kai muttered, expecting another contract offer from the mining guilds instead. The holodisplay flickered with a message in an unfamiliar script that slowly translated before his eyes. The Guardian remembers. The stars you showed her. Kai's heart stuttered. Only one person would know what that meant, Arya. Trace this transmission, unable to comply. Signal uses quantum entanglement communication, cannot be traced across the galaxy. On a world veiled in legend, Aya stood before a massive window overlooking a city of crystalline spires and impossible architecture. Her purple skin now shimmered with intricate markings of status. Her childhood softness had transformed into regal bearing. The message was sent, Guardian, said Isabel. Her most trusted advisor was that wise. The Elders' counsel against contact with outsiders. Aya touched the window. Her reflection superimposed over the 3 moons hanging in the lavender sky. He is not merely an outsider. He saved me when no one else would without him. I would never have discovered my heritage or returned to claim my birthright. That may be true. But these are dangerous times. The sovereignty is divided. Many still question your legitimacy. Which is precisely why I need him. Kai Cooper sees what others cannot. He taught me to navigate when all I had were stars and hope. Isabel frowned. He is human. The old families will never accept. They need not accept, they need only obey. I am Guardian now. In her private chambers later, Aya removed the ceremonial headdress that marked her status with it gone. She looked almost like the frightened girl who had stowed away on a cargo ship. She opened a small drawer and removed a worn navigation chart, stellar coordinates scribbled in a human hand. Lessons from years ago, memories preserved like precious gems. Where are you, Kai? She whispered. Will you come when called? Will you even remember me? Back on Nomad, Kai couldn't sleep. The message played on repeat in his mind. He found himself at the navigation console. The crystal bird figurine in his palm. You're being foolish. Old man, he told himself, she's gone, probably dead. You've imagined significance where there is none, yet his fingers traced coordinates to Sector 117. Restricted space, the domain of a civilization that had minimal contact with humans. The celestial sovereignty. A knock at his cabin door startled him. Sarah, his current engineer, stood in the doorway. You've got a visitor, she said, looking uncomfortable. Says his name is Dr. Chen. Wouldn't take no for an answer, Dr. Chen, a name from Kai's military past. A man who specialized in xenobiology and diplomatic relations. The old scientist waited in the common area. His formal attire incongruous against Nomad's weathered interior. It's been a long time, Navigator Cooper. Dr. Chen said, I'm not a navigator anymore, just a cargo hauler. What brings intelligence division to my humble ship? Dr. Chen's eyes twinkled behind rimless glasses. A matter of galactic importance, and a personal request from someone who remembers how you taught her to navigate by the North Star when she had never even seen Earth's sky. Kai's fingers tightened around the crystal bird. How do you know about that? Because my old friend, the girl you once sheltered, has become the guardian of the celestial sovereignty, and she has specifically requested you. Only you by name. The world seemed to tilt beneath Kai's feet. Impossible. Aya was just a refugee. A stowaway, she was the heir to an ancient lineage. Hidden away by loyalists during the purge, the markings on her skin were dormant then. But they identified her bloodline when she returned. They awakened, she unified the fractured houses, and claimed the guardianship. Kai sank into a chair, and she remembers me. Dr. Chen smiled gently, Captain Cooper, according to my sources. She has built her entire reign on principles you taught her during those months aboard your ship. The sovereignty has transformed under her guidance, and now she faces threats from within and without. She needs someone she can trust absolutely. Why me? That was years ago. Perhaps you should ask her yourself. A diplomatic vessel awaits your answer. Will you come? Kai looked around at his ship, his refuge, his prison. Then down at the crystal bird that had kept watch for 7 years, Arya. He said quietly, plot a course to Sector 1. Tell Sarah she's in command until I return. Dr. Chen nodded approvingly. I should warn you, the Aya you knew has changed. Power changes people. Everyone changes, Kai replied, pocketing the crystal figure, but some things remain like promises made under starlight. Echoes across the void, the diplomatic vessel Eclipse cut through space like a blade of obsidian inside. Kai stared at his reflection in the polished surface of his quarters. The formal attire Dr. Chen had provided felt foreign against his skin. Dark fabric with silver threading that caught the light like distant stars. The Guardian has provided these for you. Dr. Chen had explained traditional garments for honored guests of the sovereignty honored guest. The words felt hollow. Kai was no diplomat, no dignitary, just a disgraced navigator who once showed kindness to a frightened child. Dr. Chen entered without knocking. We approach the boundary. You should see this on the observation deck. Kai's breath caught before them stretched a massive nebula, swirling with purples and blues, but it was what lay beyond that defied comprehension. A veil of energy shimmered across space itself behind it. Faint outlines of massive structures orbited a star that seemed to pulse with consciousness. The celestial veil, Dr. Chen said reverently. Few outsiders have ever passed beyond it. The sovereignty has existed in isolation for millennia. Their technology, their very understanding of physics, exceeds our own by centuries. A voice chimed through the ship's communication system Eclipse. This is sovereignty control. Transmit authentication codes after a moment's communication. The veil before them rippled. A passage opened. Beckoning them forward, Dr. Chen, Kai said quietly, why does she need me? Really, if I owe the Guardians so powerful, why call for a washed-up cargo hauler? The old scientist's expression grew serious. The Guardian rose to power quickly, too quickly for some. The ancient houses accepted her bloodline, but resent her reforms. There have been 3 assassination attempts in the past year alone, and you think I can protect her better than her own people? No, but she thinks you can. That's what matters. She trusts no one else completely, and perhaps she's right. Sometimes loyalty forged in desperate circumstances outweighs all other bonds as they pass beyond the veil. The universe transformed. Structures of impossible geometry orbited around them. Living ships moved with grace through the stellar currents. At the center of it all hung a world unlike any Kai had seen. Floating continents connected by bridges of light. Oceans that curved upward at impossible angles, and at its heart, a city that seemed built from crystallized dreams. Vedrashan, Dr. Chen whispered, the heart of stars, home of the sovereignty. The Eclipse docked at a floating spire. Kai was led through corridors of luminescent material that responded to their presence. Guards with skin in various shades of purple and blue watched him with suspicious eyes. Their armor seemed to shift and flow like liquid metal. Tall, imposing woman awaited them in a vast chamber. Her silver-streaked hair was braided intricately. Her bearing military I am Commander Rena, Chief of Guardian Security, she said. Her voice carrying the same cold efficiency Kai remembered from years ago. Recognition flashed between them, the same Commander Rena who had searched his ship for a fugitive child. You, she said, eyes narrowing. The human smuggler cargo hauler. Kai corrected with a thin smile, never proven otherwise, yet here you are. Summoned by the Guardian herself. How interesting that she would call for a human with such a questionable past. Dr. Chen stepped forward. The Guardian's wishes are not to be questioned. Commander Rena's expression remained hard. The Guardian's safety, however, is my responsibility, and I question everything that might threaten it, including old attachments before tensions could escalate further. A new figure entered, a man with deep blue skin and eyes like polished silver copper. This is Saren, Dr. Chen, introduced the Guardian's voice. The Guardian awaits, Saren said. His tone melodic, yet somehow hollow. She requests a private audience, Rena bristled. Protocol requires security present for all audiences. Especially with outsiders, the Guardian has suspended protocol in this instance. Saren replied calmly. She was most insistent. Kai was led through a series of chambers, each more breathtaking than the last. Artifacts of unimaginable age and beauty adorned alcoves. Beings of various forms bowed respectfully as Saren passed finally. They reached a garden unlike any Kai had imagined. Vegetation pulsed with internal light. Floating orbs of water contained swimming creatures that changed color with their movements. The air itself seemed alive with subtle music. Wait, here, Saren instructed. Leaving Kai alone, minutes passed. Kai approached a reflecting pool where silver fish traced patterns. Like navigational charts, you still watch the stars before making decisions. Came a voice from behind him, a voice changed by time yet hauntingly familiar. Kai turned. Slowly, she stood in simple robes of deep violet. The markings on her purple skin glowed faintly. Tracing patterns up her neck and across her temples, her eyes, those same eyes with silver flecks regarded him with an emotion he couldn't name. Aya. He whispered. She smiled, and for a moment, he saw the girl who had hidden in his cargo hold. I am called Guardian now, but from you. I would hear my name again. Why am I here, Aya? She approached slowly because the stars aligned, because promises echo across time, because everything I built remembering what you taught me, and what was that? That power without compassion is tyranny, that freedom is worth any price, that even the smallest acts of kindness can change worlds. Her hand reached toward him, stopping just short of touching, and because I need the one person in all the universe who saw me as simply Aya, not a political tool or a sacred bloodline, not the same man who found you in that cargo hold, and I am not the same girl, yet here we stand. The navigator and the stowaway, with galaxies between the people we were and the people we've become in her eyes. Kai saw not just the guardian of an advanced civilization, but glimpses of the frightened girl who had once trusted him with her life. There is danger here, she said. Softly, forces gather against me, against the future I'm trying to create. I need someone at my side who has no agenda but the truth. Why me? After all this time? Aya's eyes shimmered with emotion. Because you're the only star that's never led me astray. Reunion among stars condensed. The royal palace of Vedrashan hummed with activity. Dignitaries from the 7 houses gathered for the celestial summit. Kai remained at Aya's side as her cultural advisor. Though many whispered about the human who held the Guardian's confidence, they plot against you. Kai murmured during a ceremonial dinner. The representative from House Tehran hasn't touched his drink all evening. Aya nodded imperceptibly. House Tirana has opposed my reforms since. I ended their monopoly on medicinal crystals. Their spite doesn't concern me. Later, in her private council chamber, Aya revealed the truth. My ancestors ruled through fear and isolation. I've opened trade routes, ended the practice of genetic servitude. Many of the old houses want me removed. Kai studied the star charts projected above them. And you trust me. Because I have no stake in your politics, I trust you. Because you once protected me when there was nothing to gain, because you showed kindness when it wasn't required that night. As twin moons cast silver light across the crystal city, Kai found Aya in the palace gardens. I never forgot you. She admitted softly, even as I learned to become who I needed to be. I measured every decision against what you might think I searched for you. Kai confessed. For years their hands met. Fingers intertwining purple skin against tan, the electric connection between them transcended species and status. I couldn't contact you until I was strong enough to protect you, she whispered. My enemies would have used you against me. Their lips met beneath alien stars. A kiss that bridged worlds and years of separation. They didn't see Saren watching from the shadows. His silver eyes narrowed with jealousy, bonds unbroken, condensed. The attack came during the summit's closing ceremony. Assassins breached the inner sanctum Saren. The trusted voice had betrayed them. The guardian has been corrupted by human influence. He declared the purity of the sovereignty must be preserved. Chaos erupted. Kai pulled Aya through secret passages she had shown him days earlier. I knew Saren resented your reforms, Kai said as they raced through crystalline corridors. But I never suspected betrayal. He doesn't want reform. He wants to return to the old ways. When my kind ruled through fear rather than cooperation. They reached the Guardian's sanctuary, a chamber connected directly to the heart of Vedrashan's power source. Aya placed her hand on a crystal panel, and energy surged through the markings on her skin. What are you doing? Kai asked, something no Guardian has done before. I'm sharing power rather than hoarding it. Light pulsed through the city and homes and gathering places. The people of the sovereignty felt the Guardian's presence, her vision of a future, where power flowed to all. When Commander Rena and her loyal forces finally reached them, they found Aya standing tall. Her hands still intertwined with Kai's. The traitors have been contained, Rena reported. House Tehran and their conspirators are under arrest in Saren. Captured, he claims he acted to preserve tradition. Aye's expression softened with sadness. Tradition without growth is stagnation. Our people deserve better in the days that followed. Kai helped Aya stabilize her government, new alliances were formed, old prejudices began to fade on the seventh night. As they stood on the highest spire overlooking the vastness of the sovereignty, Aya turned to Kai. "Will you stay?" She asked, not as an advisor or a diplomat, but as my chosen partner. "The laws can be changed." Kai touched her face gently. "I once promised to keep you safe. I keep my promises, and I promised myself I would find you again." She whispered, "Some bonds cannot be broken. Even across the void under the light of 3 moons. The Navigator and the Guardian sealed their future with a kiss, not as human and alien, not as commoner and royalty, but as 2 souls who had found their way back to each other across time and space. Their story would echo through generations, how love forged in the darkness of a cargo. Hold grew to illuminate an entire civilization, teaching both humans and the sovereignty that the greatest power in the universe wasn't found in tradition or technology, but in the simple courage to see beyond differences and protect what matters most.